Welcome Raptors, welcome to another weekly update on the 8th of September 24. This is the official Raptoreum YouTube channel. Give the stream a like, get sharing guys, let's go. Make sure you're at our Discord. The link's at the top right of the stream. That is discord.gg/Raptoreum. Yuzu, we got Rude, Sherm, Sub-Zero, Tenacious D, Foodwiser, and we have Tombot. How you doing, Toy? NGMZ317. What's up, guys? RQ, nice to see you watching, man. Share the stream, guys. A new era is upon us. German, it ain't Azorium. Hey doing, Joe? What's up? Just about another 10 minutes now, guys, and we'll get started with the weekly update.
Never really saw you coming.
we got Hunter. How you doing, man?
Used to think I wasn't fit. Look at this love we found. So give me your hand, take it to the back. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry. Oh yeah, no more tears. Oh yeah, no more tears. Take that chance, we'll be fine. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry. Oh yeah, no more tears. Oh yeah.
How you doing, Nikki?
Never really saw you coming until you turned me around. Used to think I was nothing, but look at this love we found. So give me your hand, take it to the back. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry. Oh yeah, no more tears. Oh yeah, no more tears. Take that chance, we'll be fine. No, I don't ever wanna see you cry. Oh yeah, no more tears. Oh yeah.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, Raptors. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. My name's Paul Mills from Raptoreum Core. To my right, we have Alejandro Molina, who is the head of Spanish marketing for Raptoreum. And soon to be, we may have a David Owen Morris, who is the co-founder of Raptoreum. How are you? How are you? Good?
How are you doing?
Very good, thanks.
I'm fine here.
Yeah? How's the
Yes.
weather?
Everything is fine here in Brazil.
No more flooding?
No more what?
Flooding.
No more Twitter, no.
Oh, flooding. I bet you had floods before, didn't you?
I know, no more.
No more, yeah.
And now we don't have Twitter now.
Oh yeah, no more Twitter. So you're getting along with that? Can't you use it at all, or are you still managing it?
I'm using BPM, yes.
Oh yeah. I suppose
But
that's
20 million customers, users, 20 million. Oh, it's a lot of people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So are people really salty about losing Twitter?
They talk too much, but the problem is that nobody here can do anything.
Yeah.
It's a real mess because they hate the guys and they don't want them on the power, but they like to be on the power. So,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
one of
To
the
be fair,
reasons-
I was quite surprised when that happened, but
yeah,
it is what it is. And then they took the Venezuelan president's plane as well, did they? That was all
Yes.
connected to all of that as well, wasn't it?
it's all connected. Yes, it's a shame. Really, it's painful and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
I don't like that because they shit over the democracy. So it's very bad.
Yeah. So how's things otherwise? You good?
Yeah, everything. The rest of that, I'm just working hard. I'm being trying to survive here and having good time with the family all the time. It's the only thing really important.
Yeah. Cheers, Soka. Go team. We are almost there with Raptoreum assets, and it's so exciting for us. Like, it is a new era. So I thought this was literally the last stream that we'll have before assets, because we'll be leaving here on Sunday when we would normally be having a stream to go and fly to Singapore. And we expect assets to be kicking in around that sort of time as well, depending on when the block falls on. So yeah, it is a new era coming right up for Raptoreum, and we're absolutely pumped about it. So for everyone that stuck with us from the start until this point, really do appreciate your support and everything that you've done for the project. It's just been fantastic, and to be here still now doing these live streams with Alejandro and David when he arrives, and Charlie, and that, it's just brilliant. We've tried to be as consistent as we can every single week, never missing a thing. Well, trying not to miss a thing, being consistent with the development, and one of the end goals in our first list of milestones is right in sight for us. So I'm really excited to see what the use cases are going to be developed by the community and some of the developers in the background that have already got things lined up for us. So awesome stuff, man. And there's nothing else I can say about that, but anyway, let's get started with this update. So we did some testing with this bot called the Engage bot, and what that is I would be sending tweets to that bot, and then the community could interact with those tweets either in likes, comments, or retweets, and depending on how you interacted with the bot, depended on how many points you received, So a like was something like 9 points. A retweet was, I think, again 9 points. A comment was 69 points. So it's important to comment. Uh, uh, and it's been really successful. If you do want to take part in that, you need to request the Tweeter Woo role. I was thinking of owls when I made that, but yeah, you need to request the Tweeter Woo role, and then you will see the engaged channels, and you'll be notified every time with a tag when you need to take some action and get interacting with the tweets that are posted there. I did try and automate it with another bot, but it doesn't look like bots are very happy talking to other bots. Then I tried to make a normal user account be controlled by a bot, but again, not having it. So I'm currently still placing tweets there manually. If there are any other admins watching and you do see a tweet that's about Raptoreum or whatever, then hold on, update. No, I don't want a Windows update. Snooze that. No, Windows update. Yeah, so post them to the chat, helps us out. That'd be great. I have noticed that there are some users like posting a full stop or like one word or something like that, and but the same users are worried about being cancelled on X for being bots. Well, if you want to get cancelled, that's the best way to do it. Post one word, I know that the majority of you are posting meaningful comments, which is great. But yeah, those one-worders might get you cancelled. So I can't actually put a restriction on the engage bot where you must comment, like a minimum of a certain amount of words. So I haven't done that yet, but I might do that if that carries on. But yeah, big thanks to everyone that's already participating in that. Boston, if you are watching, I know you said that everyone was getting paid yesterday, but if you check the announcement, it's a week on Monday. But I've decided to just pay everyone tomorrow anyway, because you've told too many people that they're getting paid tomorrow. So yes, people in the top 10 on the leaderboard for Engage will get a share of the Raptoreum pot, and it's just equally divided. So even though it seems like there's a small competition to get to the top 10, if you're in the top 10, you've just got to hold that position, and then you'll get an equal share of the Raptoreum that's allocated for that. We have also done a Raptoreum chain reaction video with Hunter, which is pretty good actually. So go and check that out. It was basically where we talked about from the part of a family office what to look for and what not to look for in blockchain. As you know, there's a lot of those offices that are new to blockchain, and it's the Wild West out there. So we've also put an email up as well. So if the family offices do want to contact us and get some help on integrating blockchain into their current investments and things like that, then we'd be more than pleased to help them out with any of that. There will be another video that we are doing, which will include $1 billion ideas. It's where we use our AI that has been coded by MJ on the team to give us $1 billion idea, and then what we do is we'll tear it apart and talk about it and how it could work and how it might not work. So we've talked quite a lot in the past about $1 billion ideas. Well, whether the $1 billion ideas or not, I don't know. But me and Hunter have talked a lot about various ways that the Raptoreum chain can really help the blockchain industry in various use cases. So we thought it'd be a really good segment to add to what we've already been putting out there on a Thursday. So the next one will be recorded on a Wednesday, and that will go out on Thursday. David, good to see you here, man. You good?
Yeah, it looks like it's all working now, like it's supposed to.
You had an issue?
Yeah, it wasn't connecting properly.
All right, okay.
I was trying to connect to the call earlier. Had to restart Discord.
All right. So what we got going on, David?
Well, lots of stuff. We're in discussions with another project who might help out with the development of Apache Spark, so we could get an asynchronous process up and running instead of the fairly linear process we've got on the current roadmap. That would be good if we can manage to pull that off. It's kind of the kind of deal where everybody wins if we can do it right. It won't take it 100% to where we need it to be, but that's fine. It's still something usable. Getting the right plugin format set up and distributed out together with wallet code, that would be epic, really, to get that moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else has been going on? Getting ready for Singapore, tidying contact, tidying all of these. It's a ridiculous number of requests that come in on that app from people to speak with you. Sorting out the the grain from the chaff. But yeah, looking forward to it. Should be good.
Charlie's mentioned minor voting. Do you want to do that one as well?
Oh yeah. Minor voting should be locking in, I do believe, at some point today, more or less. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, it should. Yeah, it's Monday here now. It should pass a little bit later today. Then we go into the 7-day grace period, which is there to allow more people and services to get updated before the hard fork. And then after the grace period, it will be dropping the older wallet versions from the network, as well as assets will be going live. So
Okay. As you know, we've had various promos running across our social media. A lot of you might have seen our numbers going up in various areas. And what I've also discovered during this journey is the Discord hate towards Telegram across the bridge. So they don't actually like the Telegram joiners. So what I did, I just muted one side of the bridge bot, and then everyone's so happy over at the Discord that they didn't see what was going on at Telegram. It's just like total change of mood. So anyway, so we've been running the promo with a marketing agency, and that's ongoing. That's going to be ongoing up until assets release, and then we change our tact with a different type of marketing, which is more how can I describe it? Like more visually out there, and also more showing off what people are building and complementing the space sort of thing to really spark people's imagination and to get them building on the assets layer as well. So we've got this all planned out anyway. But yeah, so you'll be seeing that after assets is released. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff to show as well at Token 2049. I know that Pepe has been pushing for some sort of live stream videos and things like that from Token 2049. We're all for that, but it just depends on the internet that they've got over there, and the fact that we are going to be walking around with our mobile phones. So if we do live stream from there, You don't expect the quality that you see now. It's probably going to be a little bit grainy and that, but yeah, we'll do something along those lines during the event, just to highlight a few of the things that we've been doing over there, and maybe maybe I'll catch David doing something that he shouldn't do, and I'll put that on social media as well. So yeah, that's most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
We've
I still remember how to pose bodies after you and Baguette passed out.
oh, right, okay. Well, it's a good job you're in a separate hotel room then, isn't it, David? Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
two are sharing. Oh boy.
Well, I've got my my earplugs because I know Baguette's like the biggest snorer in France. So yeah, it's like tearing cloth with Baguette snoring. So I am a bit nervous about sharing a room with him because this will be the first time.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah. But anyway, from Jamardis, who's the head of German marketing and also the head of bots and automations, things like that, we do have some updates coming to Raptoreum, which is the Discord bot that he created. So the new update is today you can stalk Stacy's mom. It does sound bad, but it's not actually that bad, as it sounds. And he says now you all have a menu in Raptoreum, the contingents menu. In this menu, you'll find a button, Stalking Contingents. If you click on it, Raptoreum will give you your personal RTM address and show you your contingent. The RTM address will only be set up if there is no address for you yet. Otherwise, you can press this button at any time to see a contingent. Now you're almost ready to be a good stalker, but everything has its price. If you transfer RTM to the RTM address shown in this menu, you will automatically receive a private message from Raptoreum as soon as the RTM has arrived at this address. You now have a contingent, which you can check by clicking on the Stalking Contingents button. Whenever Stacy's mum rains RTM in any chat, this doesn't necessarily mean, the Raptoreum channel. The Stacy's mum's everywhere. You will receive a private message from Raptoreum and thus know where you can quickly win some RTM. The rules. Number 1, you need a contingent. Number 2, Raptoreum sends a message only once per minute, no matter how many times Stacy makes it rain in this channel, in 1 minute. So, it might be a little late, but you'll get it within a minute. Rule 3, Raptoreum does not broadcast at trivia times. During trivia, approximately 2 hours, stalking does not work. So you need to be at trivia to get the rain on during that period. If you wish to stalk at any other time, Raptoreum will work. Number 4, for every message Raptoreum sends to you, a part of your contingent will be taken away. The calculation for this is very simple. A stalking message costs 0.00001 cents. The current RTM price is checked before the message is sent and the fee is always recalculated. Currently the fee is 1.2 RTM per message. That will obviously change. If your contingent is exhausted, you will not receive any more messages. Then you have to transfer RTM again. Since it is activated today, he says, and I think there will be some problems as usual, I'll give the first 10 users who transfer RTM until midnight today as an additional contingent of 50 RTM. So that's from Jamardis. I'm not sure if any of you have checked that out just yet or if it's even live. I haven't checked it myself. But that's just some additional thing that he's coded to Raptoreum. Raptoreum does quite a few different things as well. It can also, track wallets. It can track your smart nodes, let them know whether they're still live or whether they're down or whatever. So, it's quite a useful tool, and he's really worked hard on that. So yeah, big thanks to Jamardis for this additional little tool for the users of Raptoreum. Yeah, so as David mentioned earlier, we do have Token 2049 imminently coming up. We will be leaving our homes on Sunday and headed to Singapore. So we're going to have like a bit of a 2 day, 2 days before the event starts. Really, it takes almost a day to actually get to Singapore on the aircraft. So, well, for me anyway, David probably takes David about 5 minutes.
I'm not flying. I'm just taking the bus.
He's taking the bus. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, for me and Baguette, it's going to be almost a day to get there. So we're gonna, leave on Sunday. We'll get there on the 16th, and then we're gonna have a day to adjust, and then we're gonna be going to the event. We thought it's best to have a bit of time, either side of the event, so we're not completely dead or jet lagged when we're actually at the event. So that's the plan. We've spaced it out, and we've given enough times as well after the event to go to the various parties and things of some of the companies and things that are going to be there. I mean, what I've found in the past is the event's the event, and the hustle and bustle of the event is quite a busy thing. And if you really want to get things done, you've got to go to these side gigs. So that's what we're planning on doing after the event finishes. And then shortly, after the event finishes, they are prepping for the F1 race as well. So there's going to be, there's going to be a lot of buzz going on there. So we're really excited for that. David, have you been getting your contacts ready?
Yep.
Yep. So David's
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Sorting out I think there are several people on that app who've just requested to speak to everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
And they might be from various marketing agencies.
Yeah. Well, they're the same sort of people we're getting Telegram DMs every single day, or XDMs, right? Except they're a bit more special because they've paid the ticket price to go to the event. I don't know. We'll chat to them anyway. We'll see what they're about.
I've turned most of them down.
Have you? I've added a couple. I've added a couple because I looked at what they did in the past.
The ones I've been able to sort out as being garbage anyway.
Yeah. Anything else to add, David? Anything to add to the code about the code or anything like that?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
Everything should be good at the moment.
Pepe, when the code does roll out, you were requesting like a live stream celebration party. It might not happen in that sort of manner because we'll be traveling. We won't have the internet half the time on the plane, so by all means we'll do a celebration of some sorts, but it won't be live streamed this time. But yeah, I mean, we've got big things coming up, and we'll be doing some sort of stream or something from the event. And post the event, we've got a lot of stuff lined up, so everything's cool, man. Alejandro Molina, how are you? How's the Spanish community and Brazil and everything over that end of the woods?
Yeah. Everything is fine. I've been making some videos about Raptoreum and assets and Ghost Rider, and all this day I'm going to make more about ASICs. Actually, I got some new plans of making that videos. I like the quality; it's better quality videos, and the people like it. And I got many people support of many people of the community, so I'm very happy with that. Yes.
Awesome stuff. And is there any? You said there wasn't really any struggles with the Twitter. Do you think that there's less people interacting now with your Twitter, or your Brazilian sort of directed Twitter?
Yeah, the problem is a huge problem for the Brazilian community in Twitter and for the Spanish community in Twitter too. But the thing is that I'm using VPN, so actually I can do the job, I can post, it's not a problem. But we lost all the Brazilian customers. We have really a little community from Brazil. Actually, few guys are asking about Raptoreum,
Yeah.
and now they don't. Most of them don't have access to Twitter. So
Well, if
I
you
hope
want
it
to, if
changes.
you want to stick a middle finger up to it, right? What you can do is you can post the tweets in the engage channel, because the people that are in the engage channel, they want their points. You know what I mean? So if you posted the tweets in there, you would get more engagement. You'll get some comments on there. They might not be, Brazilian comments, but there'll be comments, and you'll have a lot more engagement, which might
Yes.
help. Which might help the rest of the community, who never usually comment on there in Brazil to start joining in. So that's an idea, man. I can add you to that. And
Yeah. Thanks, man. It's a great idea. And one of the things is that I hope this season soon. I hope it ends soon because too many people is talking about it. So I guess one of these days they will finish with that and everything will be normal game. I hope so. Yes.
yeah, well, we'll just have to see, won't we? Okay. I'm not going to drag this on today. I'm going to be on time for CryptoSmith. So yes, this is the last stream before the assets is released. This basically is a new era. So this is why the stream's called that. It's a really important time for us at Raptoreum, and I mean things are happening, and we're all excited about it. No point in being down in the dumps about the overall market or Bitcoin. We never have been down in the dumps about anything to do with markets or anything like that. We just carry on, plow on, try and innovate the space, and one day when things turn round, we'll be like a slingshot. You know what I mean?
Let's see how it goes on the 18th. There's a lot of news coming out on that one day that should push at least in one direction, but might have to wait until November for politics to get a bit more certain instead of the current toxic climate before we get some clear direction in the market.
Yep. But
right now, all that's happening is ETFs soaking up liquidity from the regular market. So many of the exchanges are hurting badly. There's very little real volume at the moment, almost no retail volume. If you look at what some of the market makers are saying, it's creepy.
all right, David, let's finish on a high note.
A high note.
Yes.
Okay. I think I've got some paint thinner I can take a hit off.
That'd be great if you could get that. Done. We're ready for the high note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah. I'm not really sure if that's actually going to do anything or if it's just going to. Nah. It doesn't have the right warnings on it.
All right then. If you're not going to give us a high note in that manner, just give us an F sharp. We will be back next Sunday for another. No, we won't. We won't be back next Sunday for another RTM update. We'll see you at Token 2049. Make sure you're following us at Raptoreum, at X, at Instagram, and all the other social medias. At official Raptoreum on TikTok. Give this stream a like and a little share. Share with your friends, your family, your people you hate. Share with everybody. And
we won't be back here until the 30th.
30th, really?
Well, 29th, 30th.
We will be, but we will be back. We'll be back before then.
We'll be back and say hi from Token 2049. But
Yeah. But if we are back for at our homes for this stream, then it'll be an AMA if it's on the 30th. So that'll be the next major thing that we're putting out. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Don't go anywhere because the CryptoSmith stream is coming right up. And yeah, I'm gonna CryptoSmith, if you are watching, we're gonna have a 10-minute interlude, I think, before the CryptoSmith stream starts. And as usual, when I start the stream, I'll give you some sort of noise. Most likely one that David has pre-recorded for us, kindly. I've used the baguette snoring noise too much, and it's actually sending me a little bit worried due to me having to share a room with him soon. So I won't be using the baguette snoring noise to start the CryptoSmith stream off. Cheers, guys. Any final words, Alejandro?
I would like to say, people, can I say it in Spanish?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Importante, ya están a punto de ver pues los assets en vivo. Faltan poco tiempo realmente, y luego de eso vienen 7 días de gracia para que todo funcione bien en la red. Así que bueno, pronto, comunidad, ya nos vemos pronto creando activos, creando tokens, creando imágenes y colocándolas dentro de la blockchain, creando nuestros assets. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Yo, get it to the Smith. Raptoreum. Welcome, Raptoreum. Get it to the Smith. Welcome, Raptoreum.
CryptoSmith con un ritmo y dale fin. Seguro que pega un hit, semana de actualización. Raptoreum está en cadena y yo traigo el micro en on. Tirando fuego, somos rapaces. Solo espera lo que viene.
Wait. It's Binarai. His name is CryptoSmith, with his tip-top chips. And when he's listening to the song, he's got some hip-hop hips. He does this forged in fire, and Smith don't play by wire. He does this only for the love, so turn up amplifier. And when you're sitting and you're watching the myth of the Smith with the brain in the jiff. Oh, don't slip, Smith. The Smith's the only one who puts swords in fire, propels the lords of pyre. They're reaching higher and higher. Hey Smith, what you making, man? What you making, Smith? Smith!
Yo, get it to the Smith. Raptoreum. Welcome, Raptoreum. Get it to the Smith. Welcome, Raptoreum.
You've got rough-skinned avocados as well.
I don't think you heard that.
Smooth-skinned avocados. You've got rough-skinned avocados as well.
What do you prefer, David? Smooth or rough?
I prefer round avocados.
Round ones. We have no sound, Jesse. No mic. No mic. No mic. No mic. Oh, there we go. I can hear the mic now.
Hello, Jesse Lambert.
You've got rough-skinned avocados as well. Round avocados.
So round ones like an apple, David, or what?
Size of my balls.
Oh, come on. Can't believe I'm staying in the same hotel as you.
Yeah.
Hello, Jesse. Jesse? Jesse,
Earth to northern Canada. Yeah, see? See, this is what happens when we let those Canadians in.
Right here. You hear that?
I can hear that.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, crying out loud. How about now?
That's even better. That's brilliant, yeah.
Ah, I had the other earbud in the other room.
All right.
Anyway, so this draws this CryptoSmith conclusion to an end. Thanks for joining. I know this was a long one. So just wanted to show you the finished product, and yeah, I guess we'll see you guys all next week.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks,
See ya.
thanks for joining us.
Bye bye. Oh, that one was a long one. Let me tell you what.
Well, that was like over a 4-hour stream.
That was a 4-hour stream.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was almost falling asleep at the end.
That's a glorious piece of work, that is.
So I did redo the handle. You guys might notice it just wasn't fitting right, but this one, oh, it feels good. And here you guys can see we did a little bit of work on the CAD that's essentially right there. That is the Raptoreum logo, which I think is a pretty sweet way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely epic.
You can see down in the center there where we brazed everything on the gold poking through. I was going to clean this up. I was going to sandblast it. I was going to make it look pretty. I kind of like it just the way it is, all dirty and nasty
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it looks
beautiful looking.
very medieval.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
So-
that whole element of
Rude.
shit, I don't even know how to say it in English. In Danish, you would say "nultorsk."
Nultaska.
It means something like an
Ah.
idiot remover.
Yeah, I don't think that even needs translation. Like that right there is you feel it as soon as you hear it. Nultaska. Hope I said it right.
Yeah.
The last thing we're going to do is drill and put a piece of steel on top here to kind of cap everything off and to keep it on the head as well without actually wedging it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to do that today because we're going to move on to something else. I'll do that off camera at another time. But I mean, this thing. So what did we weighed this? Did we not? We should go weigh it again.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, let's weigh it.
I was going to smash that box, but I decided I want it too much. I want the box. All right. We're going to do in kilos. What has it got there? I'm just kidding. I was hanging on to it.
So we're at
1.3.
1.33 kilo or 1.34, rounded up.
1.34 times 2.2 per pounds. What is it?
Are you
6.
running any miners, Smith?
Oh, is my stuff no good?
Every 5 seconds, it like glitches a bit, like as if the miners are sending jobs through.
Yeah, I got both of them running. Hang on.
All right, quality's good. It just stops every 5 seconds.
Oh, hurts. It hurts.
Big thank you to Alejandro for sending some Raptoreum to the kids. Charlie, take note if you're watching.
Oh, Fusion's doing an update too. That's a chunky one. That's a chunky one. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Jesse Lambert, aka CryptoSmith. We're here in the CryptoSmith headquarters. We've been streaming since Block 420. 420.
Was that the
It's been almost 2 years.
Was that the first time we did one?
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost
So-
2 years. That's a fair few streams. That is.
Yeah. So, what do? Well, we sit here and we go through the process of making really cool handmade items. We're taking the old world and we're putting together with the new world. The new world being, of course, the digital era, the new era, where we can digitize these via laser scanning and UV texturing, which is just a fancy way of saying we're going to overlay the picture for picture quality. Now, one thing you might notice whenever you are holding or using artifacts in video games is they can be quite blocked out. And that's, of course, one reason for that is so that it's not so taxing on the video game itself, on the amount of data that's required in order to run it, so that you don't have any lagging issues, all that kind of stuff, right? With live streaming, we're kind of getting away from that. We can actually afford to have a bit more high poly stuff, but all that aside, one really unique thing about these guys, and we actually have to poly them down, because by the time this laser scanner is done with them, sometimes it is upwards of 20 million triangles. And I know anybody out there who is proficient in Blender or Maya or what's the other one, ZBrush, knows it's a heck of a lot of triangles. So, but you can, when we're done with it, we take that high mesh and then we overlay photos on top of it, which gives it a hyper realistic look and feel via digital. But if that ain't enough, you get to own this piece. You get to put it on your wall, and then you get to put it in your video game, or you just get to show your friends on your phone on your 3D viewer without actually having to bring it around with you. And it's a way to own the new era and the old era all in one shot. That's what we're doing here. Raptoreum, I believe, is the first one to do it.
Hell yeah.
So we're not working on this. We're not working. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You were just about to answer what I was going to ask, so you carry on.
So we're not working on this today. So you might be asking, what are we working on? Well,
what are we working on, Jesse?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked. It's sure as heck not avocado skin. I tell you that one. So I put together a little thing here for you. Most of it got rubbed off. But that's okay, because this is purely for the sake of showing you. We are going to start working on a coin.
Ooh. You know who likes coins, don't you?
I know who likes coins. I'm just going to get some paper towel here so that we can clean this up so I can let you have a look at it.
He's in the chat now. What, a coin?
More importantly, we're going to start going through the process of building a die, a coin die. So this did get messed up a little bit because somebody wasn't watching, looking, paying attention. That's okay. So I'll show you what we have so far and see if we can't make out what's what here.
Oh, yeah.
So that is just an acid etch. And again, this is just for example purposes of design itself and what you're looking forward to. Now, if the die making process wasn't interesting enough, we're going to try and make it a little bit more interesting. I've been wanting to for some time. Do a series of videos where we start at a relatively soft material. Oh.
What are you hiding?
Start with a relatively soft material and step our way up to steel, using everything in between that we can, whether it be a newer technology or an old technology. I haven't decided. Maybe a hybrid of the two. But for now, I'm going to exemplify it for you within this process. So we start with a liquid resin, and we use UV printing technology to create these dies right here. And we'll clean these up here with some alcohol and some paper towel and a little brush. So I'm just going to let this drain off here a little bit. You can see over here, laser that we use to mark that steel with to further give you an example of what it's going to look like. I actually had this, I put this file out some time ago. I created this file a while back and created a 3D print out of it and shared it on Twitter, I believe, and a bunch of people asked for the file, and I gave it to them. So this is nothing new. It's just kind of new the way we're presenting it right now. So I printed either half of this guy. Get a brush.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, we can see that.
All right, so we'll try and do it today. A little bit of an experiment just to show proof of concept. But then we're going to refine the process over time and we're going to do a proper job of it. Eventually, create a coin die out of steel where we can then punch as many coins as we want out of any material that is softer than the dies themselves. So, i.e., brass, copper, even hot steel is much softer, and who knows, maybe even silver.
Yeah, Foodwise is all about the silver. So they look like the perfect size to be a troy ounce as well.
Yeah, so Fusion, the program I use for all the 3D CAD, it has this fantastic little attribute to it where you can take a model, build it, and then ask it of it the material's properties, and it'll load up times the density by the volume and give you a very accurate output of what it's going to weigh.
Excellent. So what's our next material after this?
So this is going to act like a die itself.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is, you might notice that I've printed this out as a positive. And we know that because you can read Raptoreum without having to reverse your camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So now what we need to do is change it into a negative. And the whole reason we didn't start with a negative and then punch it out to get a positive was because we would have one too many steps. It's almost like gears.
Mm-hmm.
You turn one gear, the next gear is going to go on opposite. So you always have to account for your power output, which direction it's going, and so on and so forth. So I think that's how my brain thinks of these things, because you start thinking of negatives, positives, and then all the processes that go through can get pretty. It's weird. It's not complicated, but it'll just twist and flip your brain around so many times that you have no clue. So much like a drivetrain, you have to take into account your final output and reduce the amount of steps, because every step is a loss of power in the case of power transmission. And in the case of our coins, every step we take is a loss of accuracy. So we want to reduce the amount that reduce the amount of accuracy we lose. And now, how coin minting achieves this is they actually create a coin about 3 or 4 feet wide or big. And then they take artisans in there, and they will actually physically chisel and create this out of usually clay. And then that clay gets scanned and CNC'd, and then that CNC gets cleaned up again by a human artist, and then that gets pantographed. I knew something sounded funny there. Pantographed. But you know what a pantograph is?
Nope. Never heard of one of those.
So a pantograph is a cool little thing, actually. Let's go over here. Let's play with some popsicle sticks. Pantograph is really neat. I'm going to use a 1/8 roll. If I can find it. So pantograph. I know we're taking a break here, but honestly, it's great because I get to stall a little bit.
Hey Jesse, I be honest with you. I like that weapon you are making. This last one you are making. Yes.
The mace.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I
I
really like
really
it.
love that thing. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, man.
Oh, that ain't working either. It keeps cracking this stupid things. Hmm. So pantograph traces. Oh wow. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Crack my fourth one. How it traces is it has a motion carrier essentially where this would crisscross. This would hinge, and this would have a stylus through it right here. And as this moves, this joint right here transfers the power over to here. Now the thing about it is it's reduced by the amount of division of this length to this length. So you can have a 2-to-1 pantograph. You can have multiple different sizes depending on how long your stylus arm is. Point is it takes mechanically. This is the coolest thing about a pantograph. Mechanically, it will take any action you're doing and divide it or multiply it, depending on which head you're using, and divide it by the arm to the input arm to the output arm ratio. And so when they take these 3-foot coins and then they use a pantograph, it's a very, very efficient way of transferring accuracy, and it's very, very accurate. And it's super cool the way they do it. Saying all that, though, we don't have that technology handy, and I kind of don't. That's really out of the scope of what we're doing, anyways. So all that to say that we have to be very mindful of the way that we transfer our design from one medium to another. In this case, wow, I just realized that was a really long way to answer your question. We're going to use clay. Today, we're going to use clay today. We may use silicone to transfer this into a negative, and then the negative into a harder positive, and that harder positive into the final negative, which should be in steel. All of this without actually doing any subtractive manufacturing.
So which is more exact? Would it be clay or silicon? I mean, clay is a natural thing, and you can get, I suppose, you get different grain sort of sizes of clay.
Yeah, both I would say have a high level of accuracy, but I would have to say silicone because it's a much more deliberate way of doing things, if that makes any sense. So by that I mean clay is kind of like you push it in and hope for the best. Whereas silicone, you can really put it under gas, get a proper vacuum pulled on it, take your time to do your mold right, really manipulate all the variables in your favor. Whereas clay, like this clay, this is molding clay. This is actually castable clay. It's sulfur-free, castable plasterine, and you can melt it. And after you've melted it, you can pour it. Now, the thing about it is if you don't have a way to take out any of the air bubbles after it's been poured, too bad. You can't really do anything about it. Where because it's hot and it's cooling down, whereas silicone, it's always at room temperature and you can put it under vacuum and all that kind of stuff. So it's all different. But for today's purpose, we are going to use clay. We are going to press it in. We might even get away with this. You know what? This is already flat. This is hard enough. We'll just warm it up. And then we'll see how well our... Now the other problem about this is if I press it in, I don't know if I'm going to get it out or not. Without destroying it.
Is it better to press it in using a flat surface and like a vice or something, or a top down? Oh, like doesn't matter. You're doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. One of those. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go with nice steady pressure. And then I think before we get too sunk in, I'm going to pull it all apart and then do it again. Oh, look at that, actually. That's really good.
Epic, yeah.
But you see how everything's real deformed because of how much I had to do it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to undeform it. And because it's kind of already set into place, I have to press it that much less. At least that's how we work it with the leather. I could also do a double punch, which is very likely, especially all this fine detail doesn't want to key in. Let's go for it.
Is there ever a problem with airlocks preventing the indent? With something
Yes,
like that?
and that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're always going to have that bubble living there because of that airlock. So I'll be doing 3 different methods for this. One is this method that we're doing right now, where we're essentially pressing. One is going to be subtractive manufacturing. And subtractive manufacturing is just a real fancy way of saying CNC milling, or any milling, anything where we're taking material away. Here we're deforming material, which is what we plan on doing. Now, in this case, and I haven't decided how yet, because there's a couple ways that we could go. I'd much prefer to do everything with what we have in the shop already. So we could take bronze or brass filings, encase them in resin, and put them into our clay, let them harden, and then sinter them. And that is going to help create our positive. Let's go in the light here. Let's see how good they'll reveal. I'll get a tool here to pluck this out. I'm just going to keep massaging it, and that's just just to release it, because if I have to deform it too much in order to get it out, then here goes my mold. So this is the other nice thing about the silicone too, is you can cast it and then pull out the silicone. The silicone you can have an elasticity all on its own.
Yeah.
And will return.
And there it is. Brilliant. Well, that
So from a
that looks
liquid,
pretty good.
so from a liquid to a solid to a softer medium, and now we got to make it. Now we got to step it up again. So why couldn't we just go from here into whatever medium it is that we're doing here? Right?
Right.
So in here, and we could have poured, we could have made this into this essentially, right? We could have just printed this, but that's
the opposite.
But that's kind of against what we're doing. We're almost taking an object, not almost. We're taking an object. Say this was a coin.
Yeah.
And we're going to replicate it by stepping up within our material hardnesses. So, an example of the silicone. Okay.
Yeah, this is good stuff, Smith. I've got to run off and get the kids to school. Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Give them our best. Cheers.
So, do we have to bake the clay?
No. And this is also part of it. We could get something like Sculpex or Sculpey clay that is bakeable. One, we got to take our shrinkage into. I think it's like 14% shrinkage ratio on the some of those baked clays. And the ones that have no shrinkage, I mean, we're getting away from kind of the spirit of what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're purposely doing it, I would say, inefficiently for the sake of going from a softer material up into a harder material.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, we may be able just to jump right to steel, which is kind of cool. And I think we're just going to do a quick little experiment here today. We are going to keep this one short today. We're coming off a 4 hour.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. So we have this really neat stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Powdered steel, right? And what we can do with it, pretty neat. We're going to cast it today. But what's ideal, most ideal, is that if we were to put this steel under compression or pressure, much like they do with cemented tungsten carbide, cutting tools, inserts. Thank you. So with cemented carbide inserts, they start from powder and they put it under 40 tons of pressure or 140 tons of pressure. Not too sure.
Okay.
Point is, they put it under a ton of pressure and then they sinter it. And because they sinter it, because they do a ton of pressure, the sintering has a better chance, if you will, not chance. They manipulate it in such a way that it can cut steel. It's one of the harder materials next to CBN and monocrystalline diamond that there is.
Okay, for people that don't actually know, what is sintering?
So sintering, actually, we're going to do it here today. So we could either wait until we do it,
because you can buy sintered brake pads.
Yeah, so sintering is just a fancy way of saying that we are going to bake something at really high heat. What it involves is involves a cementing compound or component, a cementing component, and high heat and oxygen free, and there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it, but essentially that's what it is.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is so in the case of tungsten carbide, it's cobalt. Cobalt has a lower melting point than tungsten. They mixed tungsten in along with cobalt, and then they bake it at a really high heat, and it creates a cement and cements everything together like a matrix together. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here today.
Okay.
We have a hard material.
Yep.
And then we're going to use a cement, in this case bronze, and we're going to cement this material down in the shape of that right there.
Yep.
How are we going to do this? Well, it's so great. Great, you guys. First of all, we need a binder. Usually, you use an organic binder. All right. In our case, we have a polymeric resin that is of high viscosity. And this is not what this is designed for. It's actually designed for stabilizing our steel. Geez Louise. Our wood. So this is what it does. We suck all the resin out, or suck all the air out, and we replace it with resin. And these now weigh about 3 times as much as their original weight.
Uh-huh.
They're impervious to water and temperature, humidity, stuff like that, because they're saturated and baked with resin. So that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to mix a little bit of resin with a little bit of steel.
Smith, just hold on a second. The Fudweiser has just sent the kids 15,000 RTM apiece. A piece.
Well,
and he's
wow.
and he's just tagged Charlie. So Charlie's gonna match it.
Nice. Well, thank you, bud.
Are you going to tell the camera person?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Oh, we've lost Smith. I'm sure he'll be back. I'll go to this until he comes back. Shouldn't be too long, guys, until he realises.
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Good to have you back. Thought your
Yeah.
battery had gone or something.
Something like, yeah, I actually got a phone call that came in. So we have a little bit of steel here. We don't need much. And this is just atomized steel. They get it by melting steel and then putting it through an atomizer in cool air. And we get this, well, not cool air. I shouldn't call it air. It's a noble gas they have to put it through.
Okay.
Otherwise it'll oxidize and it's no good to anybody. So I'm gonna pull out a little bit of this resin. Tiny bit. We don't need a whole lot. Just something to keep it. Maybe, oh, that's probably too much. Then we just mix this up until it's all evenly coated. And this is just proof of concept. Again, I want to reiterate that this requires a great deal of pressure usually. You know, a bit more of a refined process than what we're doing here today.
Mm-hmm.
To just kind of show what we got coming up. So you can see it's all kind of wet now. I probably should have put this in the freezer because we want this as hard as we can. Part of the cool process about all of this is we're going to take soft materials and we're going to put them through a process that makes them hard enough for the next step. In this case of this clay, it would be put it in the freezer and freeze it, because all steel is iron that's frozen, right?
Yeah.
Different materials just freeze at different rates or different temperatures. In the case of water, it's 0 Fahrenheit, minus 32 Fahrenheit. I don't know. Fahrenheit's so messy. It's minus 1 Celsius. It's not 0. 0 is not the freezing point of water. -1 is. 0 will keep it frozen, but it will not freeze it. That's why, you ever seen where they take like a water bottle out of a freezer and then they smack it and it freezes in an instant?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because it is actually past the point of freezing, but it hasn't had the chance to crystallize yet.
Another thing as well, it was actually a trivia question. And
Over.
hot water freezes faster than cold water, which is very strange.
I gotta come back at you guys here for 2 seconds. You're gonna lose me. I'll put you on the crab watching.
Okay. You got to believe it, Fudweiser, it's happening.
And he's back. Sorry about that. Had some stuff to
That's all right.
deal with real quick. Okay, so I don't know how good this is going to turn out, but again, I reiterate proof of concept. All right. We're going to pack that in there. I think I probably should have actually sifted it in there so that makes sure to capture all the detail. Being very careful not to push it over in any way, but push down.
Suppose with that material as well, there's less chance of airlocks because of the gaps in between the particles.
Yeah. Yeah, the only so much like when you're ramming sand molds, it will interlock with the grain
Yeah.
before it has a chance to get pushed down into the details.
Right.
So it's very delicate at this point. I'm pretty impressed with myself because I dang near nailed it, the amount of steel powder we needed. Binarai,
Yeah.
you can only call it luck.
Oh, here we go again. There's always a moment in your
So
stream
many
where
times.
your head swells up slightly.
Hey, you said it. There's always a moment because you could only call it luck so many times.
All right, let's get on with it.
This may fall apart. You know.
Okay, so how
Pop
long
that
is this going
ego.
to take to set?
Well, no, it's not. Like we're just gonna pull it out right here, right now.
What now?
I don't think it's gonna work because of what you just said. That makes way more sense. I don't know, why didn't you say something earlier? I should have mixed it with epoxy, not resin. So I've gone full abandon. I fully abandoned it in an instant. I got my face here. I did that just for you. Paul. Just for you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I'm going to redo this, except we're going to mix it with 5-minute epoxy. The only trouble with that is we are going to create a situation where we're burning off 5-minute epoxy. I don't know how much I like that situation, but it is what it is. Oh, that's the other thing about silicone. This heat cure resin that we're using cures at 200 degrees. This silicone is good to like 600.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
So we would be able to cure it in the mold, which is fantastic. So let's try this again. I'm going to blow this out. You know what though? While I'm here, I'm going to change it for this one. I mean, that's cool and all.
Well,
and it looks pretty cool with the steel powder in there.
Yeah. But that's the old logo.
But I think, yeah, exactly. Well, it's the other side of the coin, right?
Okay.
Kind of show the old and the new.
Okay, yeah. All right, let's go.
All right. Do the epoxy. Yeah, because we're taking something soft, making it hard. What if I use CA glue? Oh, I'm getting head shake. Don't do that. We've let's go. What if I use CA glue? Kind of like that idea. Like that idea a lot, actually. Instantaneous.
So what's that? What's CA glue?
Super glue. More commonly known as super glue.
Okay. is that gonna be like literally super glued to the clay, and then you're not gonna be able to pull it out, and it's gonna be little bits, or are you gonna
Well, because
line the clay with something and then put the super glue on?
no, I'm going to glue it right in there. I'm hoping that because it's oil-based clay, it won't want to stick.
Also, when there's lots of super glue together, it's not an instant thing, is it? It does take a while for it to go off.
Not in this case. It would actually go off faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Super glue actually interacts with moisture.
That's right.
And in this case, moisture in the air. That's why whenever you glue ceramic, you should always hit your edges that you're about to glue with water first. Let it soak in, then glue it.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, because there's so many fine particles, it has a lot of moisture to interact with, a lot of air, way more air than usual. But let's do a test before we do the whole coin. Do a test here, where we just put a little bit of steel and a little bit of CA. Let it kick off, and then I'll be right back. All right, little bit of powder on our clay. Mound it up. In fact, sometimes it reacts so quickly it doesn't even get down to the bottom of the pile before it kicks off. And so what you get is like this shell. Rather than a solid mass. Oh, wow. That is a delayed reaction.
So, are you gonna kiss my shoes, Smith?
Hang
We're using epoxy then.
on. You might be able to build in layers. I'm surprised though. Because I could prove that's true. I won't use baking soda. I'll use glass because glass is inert. So this is a powder that's used, and it. Oh shoot! Hang on. There it is. Right here. So this is the powdered glass. And again, what makes this special is glass is inert. And you can see reflects light a little bit. And when you hit this, you soak some of that good stuff on there. It takes about half a second. And that's hard. So this isn't curing at all. Dang it. Junior's trying to get messed up.
Problem with that
Alright,
powdered
5
glass
minutes.
is the grains are too big, aren't they?
Oh, for the process, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more importantly, is we want it to be steel. Well, we want it to be bronze. Actually, bronze powder would even be better because it would fall into line with trying to go from one soft thing to another. I'm curious though. I'm just gonna hit this with some activator. See if we can't see what it does. All right. I was wrong. You were right.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just like a good dose of reality after I pull my head up there. Okay. So whatever we put into this in our epoxy is what we're going to lose in mass, ultimate mass. We're done here, and also what we can expect to have burnt off in the flames. It's going to be hard to get all of this coated evenly in under 5 minutes with this small amount. So it's really balancing the amount of epoxy that we put in. See, like, yeah, this does not want to mix whatsoever. We don't want to put a whole bunch because then we're just diluting our steel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'd be better off mixing with like a really high, much higher time, like half-hour epoxy or something. But hey, you know what? We're learning together.
Yeah, I'm thinking less steel, more epoxy.
All right, now time for you to kiss my boots.
All right, okay.
Now this is going to have a hard time holding together loosely, but when we compact it, that epoxy is going to have a greater effect. So the trick is to be able to compact it at this point.
Okay.
If we can't, then yeah, it's of no use to us. And that cured, and it's coming off clean. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, really got in there. Proof of concept here, boys. Oh, and gals. I think we might go the silicone and baking method.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all that epoxy ain't gonna do a lick of good. If we don't get these grains compacted, so that minuscule amount of epoxy can actually interact with another bit of epoxy.
I was thinking, Smith, could we use plaster? You know, like plaster of Paris.
Yeah, plaster Paris is actually another refractory. You can heat that up red hot.
Yeah.
In fact, there's glass artists who will cast something in plaster, and whatever it is they're casting gets destroyed. And then they put a bunch of cullet in there. Cullet's just broken up glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put it in an oven and they let it all melt and kind of drip into the form of the plaster. I've always wanted to do that. I don't know if they're using investment plaster or just regular old plaster of Paris or not, but that could be something. Hey, we're right now we're arm in arm skipping down the yellow brick road. We're kind of figuring all this out together.
Yeah, I'm only saying that because years ago I remember watching something on YouTube where they were creating something out of a type of metal, and they literally just poured it straight into the plaster. And I wouldn't say it was exact to what they were hoping for, but it was pretty damn close.
So
I
that's what
think what you're
that's what's
saying
called.
I think what you're saying by stepping up, that's going to give you a little bit more accuracy than just the straight up plaster pour. You know what I mean? So I think it's not as exact that doing it that way.
For investment and investment casting is probably one of the most accurate way of doing things. We can do that. I like investment. We're still taking a material and through process making it from a softer material to a harder usable material.
Yeah.
All right, so it's began to gel. These little remnants are starting to become a little bit more resilient. But I think we've got a ways to go before demolding. I wonder if heat do it.
How does heat react with the epoxy?
It breaks it down.
Oh, does it? Yeah. So you wouldn't have to give it too much then.
So I'm gonna just pull these chunks out. It's nowhere near. I just don't want to sit here and wait. I like the fact that it's bending and not like breaking. That to me, I like that. Oh yeah, no, it's holding. So right now it's just in the gelling stage of the epoxy. 5-minute epoxy doesn't cure in 5 minutes. Cures in like 48 hours. But it gels in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take some of this uncured steel cookie, and we're going to go drop a chunk of bronze onto it and see how it does in the sintering process. Even if it hasn't actually taken up. I'll be honest with you, I've already abandoned this. We're going to go with silicone and baking. But we're going to take a chunk of this resin in and some of this too. Where is it? Some of this here. This is the first resin. We're going to just do some tests.
Okay.
And we're going to see how it holds up and how well it sinters. Because we need the binder to burn off cleanly and the filler or the cementing agent, in this case bronze, to take its place cleanly. And one problem that's inherent, look, it did take some of the details. I bet you if I waited, it would take all of the details. And then I'm gonna leave a chunk out because I did tell you that you'd be eating your words, Binarai, and we got to prove it. All right, off we go. So we'll do a couple test coupons. We'll just use okay. Gonna use a random piece of steel here. Do that one. With a little piece of bronze and no flux. Not going to use any flux. There's a little bit of flux left on this brazing rod. We're going to put it to the side. And we're going to see how well it wicks in. And my hope is that the epoxy, which is a hydrocarbon, Well, everything's made out of carbon. And this is going to test the impurities of the epoxy and how well it works to shield from oxygen. Then we're going to do one right beside it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's quite hard. Going to do one right beside it. We're going to flux this one. Shield it from oxygen. And give the bronze a better chance of actually filling in. And then this one, we're just going to make a little pellet of the resin, the heat cure resin. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, this is not even compacted or filled in any way, but we'll just see how the resin reacts. So all we're doing is really just testing the resin at this point. Just testing the resin. And the fire we go. Gonna have to wait a little bit for the base metal to heat up.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I won't be able to go to the barbecue then.
I would say we're getting up to sintering heat. Pretty close. The really neat thing about sintering is just the close proximity of the pieces themselves.
Okay.
Just the fact that they're touching each other.
That's all that's needed.
Usually, yeah. It's actually really pretty cool. Okay, so the bronze is beading. It's not doing anything for the two pieces without flux. The one piece without flux, or with flux, sorry, just went bleh everywhere. And is currently wetting out steel, which is really neat. Watch.
Yep.
Sorry, you guys can't see it.
It's all right.
If I can't help it along just a little bit. All right. Let's have a look. We can see here, here's the one that had no flux. You can see there's still a bead of bronze there.
Yep.
This one had the flux in the bronze and that got eaten up. This one, same thing.
Yep.
Bronze is still there.
Yep.
So this is the lower one that was fluxed and bronzed. Fluxed and bronzed, no flux, and just centered. Pull them off and see how we did. This is no flux, just heat. Flux and bronze. This is the heat resin. No flux. Heat resin, fluxed and bronze. Go check it out, and then we'll know where to go. So one thing right away,
Well, we've lost you, Smith. If you can hear us, lost you.
we can notice
We are having some technical difficulties with CryptoSmith.
is the detail.
Smith's still talking. Can you hear us, Smith? All right, he's gone again. He'll be back. Sorry about that, guys. Just one of those things when you're doing live shows. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah,
Wow, my phone just
we lost you again.
just went bonkers.
There we are.
We're here now, though, yeah?
Yeah, we're here now, yep.
All right, check out the detail that's been left behind. That's pretty neat. But even just in taking it out, I was able to break it with my fingers. So it's
brittle,
pretty
yeah.
solid. It's got a band of no oxygen, like black and silver.
Okay, yeah.
Oxygen is definitely there's some metallic. Meh. So anyways, here's the bronze stuff. Pretty friable as well, except for right here where all the bronze, that's pretty solid. We're getting this pretty solid material out of that.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I'm trying to break it with my fingers right now, and I can't. Yep. No, I can't. So I think that's going to be similar result too with the heat resin. Sure enough, I just put it in there as a pile. This stuff you can't even break. The other pile, I'm pretty sure if I try it, yeah, it crumbles. So I think what we'll do is we'll pour the dies rather, and sintering shrinks things. So I'll check out the sintering part of things. We'll make a silicone mold. I'll cast the resin impregnated steel powder in the silicone mold, cure it in the silicone mold, and then I'll have to set up a system where we can flux and bronze during sintering. That leaves all of our details intact and not overwhelmed by the corrosive nature of flux.
Yeah.
I think we have somewhere to go from here. That's about all I wanted to do today, was just kind of go on a discovery journey with you guys and let you know that we're starting the process to make some dies. But and we're going to start making some coins. And when we have them out, I barely touched upon this, but I'm going to be doing 3 different processes. One is going to be subtractive machining. And the other one is going to be this one, which is more or less for fun. And we're working on a 1,000,000-layer Damascus billet. We still have that. We might throw some more layers into that and maybe make that the first coin. Who knows?
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get these cameras sorted. Alejandro, camera on, if possible. Whether you can still hear me, bro. All right. Okay, big thank you, CryptoSmith, for today's experiment. This is part of a larger process in making a real Raptoreum coin, which Budweiser sort of, planted the idea in our heads the other day when he'd had a few sips of whiskey, let's put it that way. Yeah, so today we've learned what to do and what not to do. A lot of this sort of stuff is part of the processing, creating a finished item. If you were watching something like Forged in Fire, there would, all this would have been cut out, and they would have actually, just had an item at the end of the episode. But we do things real here, and I think that's important to show you, because you don't actually see this sort of thing. As you can see, CryptoSmith is holding the Raptoreum mace, which doesn't have a name yet, but it's pretty cool. And I mean, what are we doing with this, Smith? Have you destroyed anything with it yet?
Not yet. I got to put the end on first.
Okay.
I don't want the thing flying off,
All right.
I don't want to destroy like a boss. That's lame.
All right, but that thing is absolutely epic. How does it feel to hold? Is it like got some good?
It feels so good. It's like you could choke up on it. Like right there is like perfect. And or like this, just hold your hand real nice for the two-handed. Yeah, it's so great. It's fantastic.
All right.
And it looks like its own little thing, but then you look in on it and it's like, bam! Raptoreum logo just pops right out.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us for this CryptoSmith stream. If you have just tuned in for the CryptoSmith stream, please don't forget that we do have a Raptoreum blockchain stream before this as well, which is, part of the process of why we're doing these CryptoSmith streams, because we're bringing the old into the new with Raptoreum assets, which are imminently due to be released, roughly in about less than a week now, something like that, a week's time. Which we are exceptionally excited about. So please, check that out, check the code out, make sure you download the wallet if you haven't already, so you are prepared for Raptoreum assets as it is released. As we have mentioned, we do have Token 2049 coming up, which is the event's actually on the 18th, but we'll be leaving on the 15th to go to Singapore. So we will be doing some sort of video or stream from the event at Token 2049. So please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the like on this video as well, and the little bell to be kept up to date with any more Raptoreum streams that we'll be doing further down the line in the next week or so. Make sure you are following CryptoSmith on X, that's at CryptoSmith01, and also check his day-to-day workout as well at JD Knives on Facebook. Make sure you're following us at Raptoreum at X, at Instagram, at TikTok, at Official Raptoreum. And again, yeah, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really helps us out with the algorithm, and YouTube's really the only thing that brings us in some small amount of revenue that helps with the project as well. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to all those that have been participating in the Engage bot at the Discord. It's been really helping get the numbers up and spreading the word out, even in the short amount of time that we've been using it. And yes, I will be sending RTMs tomorrow for everyone that's participated in that. So thank you again. Any final words, CryptoSmith, before I finish this stream?
Just a reminder that this will be the first CryptoSmith item that will be tokenized assets when assets are live. So don't miss out.
Don't
be
miss
there
out.
for that.
That is number one. That is provenance.
Number one.
That is provenance. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Big thank you to you, Paul.
You always thank me. I appreciate it. No one thanks me.
Well,
I just do.
Hey, man,
no one thanks me except for you. Thank
you. Do a lot of hard work, Paul.
Thank you for thanking me.
And thank you, Fudd.
Yeah. Thank you
for that big the kids thanking everybody else.
Oh yeah. Thanks Fudweiser for the double 15k to each one of the kids, and he's tagged Charlie as well. So Charlie's got to match it, Charlie. You know, we're making sure that's going to happen. Also, a big thank you to Alejandro Molina, who is on this call, but he's currently not conversing for some unknown reason. But yeah, he sent some RTM for the kids as well, and did some rain for the chat. When the stream finishes, I will send a little bit of rain to the chat as well, as I haven't done that much through this stream. So, yeah. As it is almost upon us, what will you build? Cheers, guys.
All right.